I know I've kept you long already, but I have an after show that I only do for YouTube. And it's basically just like to get to know you as a pet parent. Did you ever watch Inside the Actors Studio?
Yes.
Oh, good. Okay. So it's inspired by the questions that James Lipton would ask at the end. So I have 11 questions, all pet related. The first one is, what's your favorite breed?
Shih Tzu.
Ooh, that is, I've never had anybody say that. So what are your dogs?
I did have a Shih Tzu, but he died last year. But right now, my dogs are mixed breeds. Gypsy is a long-haired Dachshund mix, and Pepper is an Australian Shepherd mix. But she doesn't really look like an Australian Shepherd. She's got the tail kind of looks like, but
okay, so I think I'm gonna get a Chihuahua next. I'm going to small dogs. Once I have 3 dogs, and so like no time soon.
Oh, okay, wow.
But like I always think about like what's my next dog, and I'm thinking Chihuahua just because of where I live. It's like right on the border with Chihuahua, Mexico, and all that.
Oh yeah.
But I have always wanted a long-haired Dachshund. Always.
Oh well, let me pull her up here. Gypsy. Here she is. She's kind of freaked out.
She's like, who are you talking to in that machine? Oh my gosh, she's so sweet. How old is she?
Well, when we found her, they thought she was about a year. So 11, around 11 years old.
Oh my god.
But she's very, very spry.
Yeah, she's so cute. I love her. Oh my god. Okay, yes. I want a small dog at some point, and the long-haired Doxy is in the running for sure. All right, what is your least favorite breed?
Oh, probably Husky, just because of how much they shed.
I hear that, especially in Texas too, like where it's mostly warm, like we don't have like really severe winters. I find, and I see a lot of Huskies in El Paso, and I always saw a lot of Huskies in Miami where I grew up, and I'm like, why did we bring these dogs here?
Yeah, I know, they must be so hot.
I feel so bad for them. All right, do your pets sleep in your bed?
No, not anymore. We used to let them, but they're too much of a bed hog.
I know, me too. My bed is my sanctuary. I don't even like my children in there. My husband barely gets to sleep in there. So if it was up to me, I would go back to like the Lucy and Ricky Ricardo, like twin beds for each person.
Oh yeah, with a split bed. I just watched that movie the other day, The Beam.
Because I really like my bed to be my sanctuary. I always shower before getting in bed. I love it. And dogs and all the gross things they do out back, I don't want them in there. I don't even want my kids in there. Okay, who or what wakes you up in the morning?
My baby right now, the 2-year-old, or almost 2-year-old.
Does she sleep okay? Like, how's the sleep situation? Because we're struggling with a 2-year sleep regression right now.
Yeah. She's in a bit of a regression. She was sleeping really good, and now she's kind of just like, she'll go to sleep in her bed for a while and then wake up, and I just put her in the bed with us, and then she's just wiggling all over the place. So I mean, my body clock wakes me up sort of, but she starts waking me up before that, just wiggling around.
Same, and so much same. All right, what is your most used training command or cue with your specific dogs?
Gypsy won't come in unless I say, do you want a cookie? If I say that, she comes running.
So basically she trained you. That's a training command she uses on you.
Yes. And if she's not paying attention to that, if I wrinkle some plastic, she comes running.
That shit, like a sound of a chip bag, right? Like, yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. They can hear that from outer space, like for real.
Yeah.
What is your least used training command or cue? It's either something you don't use because you don't like it, or something you wish you used more.
I don't No, they're such good dogs for the most part, and I don't really need to use them many commands. Maybe leave it, I guess. I don't know, like I don't like that if they, if they want to chew on something, I don't want to take it away from them, but
Yeah. I love leave it. I use it with my kids. I use it with my husband. I use it with like strangers in the street. Like leave it is such a good thing. I'm like, leave it to the kids when they're like touching, they don't, I'm like cooking and they're like, their hands are dirty and they want to touch whatever I'm cooking. And I'm like, leave it. Like, why are you doing? Because they're little and they don't know about germ theory. Like they don't know anything about that. So yeah.
Yeah.
What pet related noise do you love?
I really like when Tigger purrs. I love purring.
It is like the most amazing sound. Like, I think that so I had a veterinarian on season 1. I'll put the link right here if anybody wants to watch it. But he said that he suspects, and there may be some research out there that says that the purring actually helps them regenerate cells and heal themselves. Isn't that cool?
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Isn't that cool? Like,
yeah.
It's a theory.
Really cool.
It's a theory that it might actually have some like benefit to them. And I know it has a benefit for us. So maybe we're like, by osmosis, we're like also benefiting from their regeneration. That's so cool. What pet related noise do you hate?
The retching sound before they're about to grow up.
The worst. Yes. Yes. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Okay, so you are a pet sitter, business owner, doggy daycare owner. Other than that, have you ever considered doing another job within the pet care industry?
I've thought about becoming a trainer. I just feel like I have a good connection to dogs, and they listen to me, and they just seem to be...
You have a good energy for dog training.
Yes, there we go. Yeah. But right now I just don't have the time to train to do that, but maybe one day.
Well, I think you do really well at it. I agree. You have a really good energy for dog training. And how about a job within the pet industry that you would never want to try?
Veterinarian.
Why is that?
Just because I wouldn't want to deal with the deaths all the time, and also, I mean, I'm taking care of snakes and reptiles, but I wouldn't want to be touching them and stuff.
I agree. That's a very popular answer, actually. That's a very popular answer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, everybody who's in the pet industry knows that vets have it hard. I think pet parents don't always know that. They think, they're doctors, they're making all this money. They don't realize that they only see the pets when they're in, they're sick. They see a lot of neglect. They see a lot of illness. It's a little different than a doctor that sees people and connects with people throughout, they're healthy, they're not healthy, it's different. So I definitely agree with you. It's a tough job. So the last question I ask, and this part of the show is called Last Call, because it's kind of where if you've been at a bar all night and it's last call, you're kind of more introspective and you're sharing your life story with strangers. So if the Rainbow Bridge exists, who is the first pet to greet you when you arrive? Is it that Shih Tzu you were talking about?
Yeah, Buttons. I'm gonna cry now. He was we had dogs when I was growing up, but we wouldn't have them for very long, things like that. But he was my first dog that was mine, and I had him his whole life, and so.
Why did you choose a Shih Tzu? What about him stood out to you?
Well, he was my mom's dog first, actually. My parents got divorced. She was lonely and wanted a pet, and she adopted him, and I was still living with her at the time. And she had to move somewhere, and she couldn't afford the pet deposit. So I said, well, I will pay the pet deposit, but he's my dog. Because he basically was already, and she's like, okay, that's fine. So
that is awesome. So how many years did you have him?
Almost 17.
Yes, because Shih Tzus can live really long. They really are really resilient dogs.
And we had to make the decision to let him go because we realized he had some pretty bad dementia going on. So, yeah.
Yeah, that is so hard. Well, I'm so sorry for your loss. I know it's pretty recent. What, did you lose him in 2021?
Yes.
Oh, it's still, I'm sure, really raw and really painful. So my condolences for your loss. Thank you so much for sharing your story with me and taking the time to chat with me today. It's been so fun getting to know you.
So much. This was a lot of fun. Thank you for having me. I really enjoyed it.